You're in a calorie deficit, or at least you think you are, and the scale is going up, and you're sitting there and you're like, what the actual f is going on? See, many of my clients as an online fitness coach have been in the exact same spot. They swore that they were doing everything right, but the scale or their body composition wasn't changing. Once we broke down what was really going on, the fat started coming off. And today, I'm gonna walk you through those exact reasons so you can start making adjustments and seeing results today. Click the link in the description and apply for the Are You Training Me one-on-one coaching program. And comment below something that you've struggled with on your journey so I can help you out. Ben, who broke a year-long plateau and lost 40 pounds. He did this all without giving up his favorite foods, finding a training plan that actually fits his lifestyle, building habits that last so he could get lean and stay there for life, making a few adjustments to his plan. First thing you need to understand is weight gain doesn't necessarily mean fat gain. Your body weight is made up of water, muscle, glycogen, and food in your stomach. So there's a lot of factors going on. So a 2 to 3 pound weight jump on the scale could literally just be from a salty meal or a hard workout the day before. And the main reason why people gain weight in a so-called calorie deficit is because they're not actually in one. In research like from the classic studies in American Journal in Clinical Nutrition, they bring people in the lab, track every bite that they eat, and compare that to the actual food that they think that they're eating. The results? On average, people underreport their calorie intake by 30 to 50%. Not because you're lying, it's because the little things add up super fast. That splash of oil in the pan, 120 calories. That tablespoon of peanut butter is probably close to 2 tablespoons. And those little bites that you're taking while you're cooking, probably another 200 calories. These invisible bites kill calorie deficits every single day. And that could be the difference between actually getting leaner and putting on body fat. Here's another killer. People go super low calorie for 2 to 3 days or even 6 days out of the week, and then the weekend hits and they go absolutely crazy. They get drinks, big meals, sauces, and more, and they wipe out their entire deficit in one night. Now, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy these occasions. You absolutely can. You just need to be aware of how many calories you're consuming, or just be conscientious that these things add up, and then make the proper adjustments the following days after. If you don't do this, you could easily eat 2,000 plus extra calories above your maintenance on those days, and that could be the difference between you in a calorie deficit again or in a calorie surplus for the week. And it's important to note the average calories that you intake per day over a week-long span is going to be what actually moves the needle in terms of weight loss, or more importantly, fat loss. And this is why guessing calories doesn't work. You need to know what's actually going into your body. If you don't know how many calories you should be eating, you're not logging it into a calorie tracking app, or at minimum keeping track in your head, you're just flying in blind. You're essentially guessing on your journey. And when you actually plateau in terms of weight, you won't even know when or how to adjust. And here's the part that no one talks about. As you lose weight, your body simply requires fewer calories because your basal metabolic rate, or BMR, goes down. Even at rest, if you're maintaining at 2,400 calories, maybe it's 2,100 now. So you have to make the proper adjustments. Not only that, your inclination to move, or your body's urge to move, actually goes down. So you could be burning less calories from that as well. And on top of that again, you're eating less food, so the calories you burn during digestion goes down as well. That means that the calorie deficit that you started with is no longer a calorie deficit anymore. Most people don't even know what their calorie deficit should be in the first place. And then when they plateau, they don't even change their plan. They just think that their metabolism is broken. If you don't know what that calorie number should be and you're not making proper adjustments, you're essentially guessing. And guessing is what keeps people stuck. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be on some rigid meal plan, because you absolutely shouldn't. You should eat the foods that you still enjoy so you can actually stick with the calorie deficit, but you just need to be very aware of how many calories you're eating, since your goal is to get leaner. Like Yusa, she thought that she was eating 1,500 calories, but she was actually consuming 2,200 calories. Once we figured out how many calories she needed to maintain her weight, we made adjustments, fixed that, and she lost 13 pounds in only 7 weeks. And even when you're in a real calorie deficit, your body weight could still go up just due to water retention. More carbs, more sodium, heavier workouts all make you gain water weight. That's the reason why a lot of people do meal plans, is because it's just easier. easier. You eat the same amount of sodium, you track how much water you're actually taking in, so there's none of those fluctuations. However, it's impossible to adhere to long term, and once you get off the diet, you're not going to be able to stick with it for life. So daily weigh-ins, weekly averages, and progress photos are extremely important when you're cutting body fat. One salty meal could make you think that you gained 3 pounds overnight, when in reality, it's just water. Now, here's what you should actually do. Like and subscribe. I broke it down into a few simple, actionable steps so you can take action and lose fat today. First of all, track every single thing that goes into your mouth for at least a week. If it goes into your mouth, log it. Sauces, coffee creamer, croutons on your salad, literally everything. You need to start building awareness. There's a bunch of calorie tracking apps on the App Store like MyFitnessPal, not even sponsored. I've been using it for over 5 years, that you can use and get started today. Step 2, weigh every single day and use the weekly average. Don't get discouraged if your weight is down for 1 or 2 days even, because like I said, that could just be a water weight fluctuation. Just make sure that the general trend is going down over time and you're in good shape. Step 3, adjust as you go. Use that weight as data, and don't only weigh yourself, also take progress photos so you can have 2 metrics to go by. And like I said, you're not just guessing. Your body is like a moving target. It's going to adjust from whatever you throw at it, so just make sure that you're keeping track of how you're looking and what you're weighing. You may need to change the amount of calories that you're consuming or increase cardio every 5 or 10 pounds that you lose. Step 4, stop the all or nothing cycle. I honestly hate cheat days. I think that you should just be able to fit your favorite foods in every single day. It builds a terrible relationship with food, looking forward to one specific day to eat, and it makes you not actually enjoy your diet. It makes the whole process super unsustainable and doesn't make sense. In the long term, you're not going to be able to stick to it. However, 1 day of big eating is completely fine as long as it's accounted for. You can do it and still make progress. It just has to fit within your weekly numbers and the average calories that you consume every day over a week-long span. If it doesn't, 1 bad day could wipe out all your progress for the whole week. Step 5, focus on fiber, protein, and high-volume foods. I have a bunch of information about this on my page, so I'm not going to go super in depth about it, but these will keep you full and will help you stick on your diet without feeling like you're starving. Think lean meats, Greek yogurt, fruits, and vegetables. No one's getting fat from eating too many fruits and vegetables. They're just so low calorie dense. Step 6, set realistic time frames. Fat loss does not happen overnight. You should be aiming to lose 2 pounds of body fat maximum per week, because if you don't and you go faster, it's not going to be sustainable. It means that you're restricting yourself too much and you're probably going to have a huge rebound afterwards. Instead, you should enjoy the journey and actually eat foods that you enjoy on a daily basis, so once you lose the weight, it's completely effortless. And I've definitely made this mistake before. I've lost weight extremely fast at times, and then it absolutely sucked when I got down to my goal weight. But right now, the last time I cut down, I was doing it very slowly, methodically, and strategically. And now I can stay super lean without an issue. Establish those good habits early on while you're cutting. Remember, this is a long-term game, not a short sprint. Step 7, learn how to budget your calories. Think of it like money. If you know that you're going out for a big dinner, you're gonna have a lot of sauce, you're gonna have a lot of drinks, maybe upwards of 2,000 calories, just be conscious beforehand. You shouldn't just blow your calorie budget on breakfast and snacks when you know that you're gonna go crazy for dinner. You need to make adjustments earlier on in the day so you don't go into calorie debt. If dinner's a priority, I recommend protein fasting early in the day. Notice how I said protein fasting and not fasting. Protein fasting is something that is just made up. It's not mainstream. But what I mean by that is that you need to prioritize protein early in the day. Think egg whites, Greek yogurt, combined with other low-calorie dense foods like vegetables, even popcorn. By doing this, you're not going to eat a lot of calories. You're going to stick to those lean meats. You're going to already have a lot of protein before you go to dinner, which will mean that you're more satisfied before you actually go to dinner, and you won't even have to worry about hitting your protein goals. It'll already be there. So you have much more flexibility to eat later in the day, and you won't be affecting your body composition, because you need to be prioritizing protein if you actually want to look lean and not just skinny fat at once you cut down. And that leads me into my last point. You absolutely need to have go-to meals. Don't start every day asking, oh, what should I eat today? Especially when you're eating out. You need to have go-to breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas that you can make on repeat. If you have that, then you won't be reaching for snacks. And here's the thing, you can even do that for snacks. You can have snacks that fit your goals and align with your goals and make the whole process so much easier, and they still taste amazing. If you do this, you're taking out the guesswork again. Like I said earlier, you can't guess on this journey. You don't even have to be super strict or have all this discipline. You just can't guess. You need to actually have a plan that you know is going to take you to your goals. In the previous steps, you already know where your calories are. You know when to adjust. You don't need some random factor of random ass meals blowing you off. And that sums up the actionable steps. And honestly, you probably already knew a bunch of them already. But knowing them and actually doing them properly are two completely different things. That's where Are You Training Me coaching comes in. It's not some crazy magical program. It's just the things that I discussed that actually work. It's about you executing the basics flawlessly so the results just come in. I've had so many clients come to me and say that they're in a calorie deficit or say that they're eating super low calories, but they were stuck for months. Their situation was not what they thought it was. Once we actually tracked and started making smart adjustments, the weight started coming off again. So if you think that you're in a calorie deficit, but you're actually maintaining your weight or even gaining weight, it's not your metabolism hating you. It's hitting calories, water weight, your body adapting because you already lost weight, and just not making the right adjustments. Fix those and you're going to see results. And like and subscribe because I make videos like this every week breaking down how to get lean in a simple and enjoyable way.